Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it!
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast episode, I remember, 211.
211. Oh, my goodness.
Talking about Lyft is glitching like a mofo yesterday with huge amounts of money, and Nashville drivers go on strike over Labor Day, which we know how we all feel about that, but it's still good to talk about, so on and so forth. Everything gig economy related for this show is at gigeconomyshow.com. Sign up for the newsletter that I don't send, but I did send out, I got lazy for the last couple months. I did send out a new episode email. I don't know if you got that or not, but
I got it.
I am sure you did. So, yep, gigeconomyshow.com. Patreon. We'd love for you to join Patreon. Patreon is a place where you get extra content and you can support the show that you love so much. Go to patreon.com/thegigecon podcast. There you can get a $5 tier, or choose a $5 tier or a $10 tier. $5 tier gets you pre-show banter. The $10 tier gets you an extra podcast a month, exclusive Gig Economy podcast t-shirt made by me. You get ad-free episodes. More bang for your buck in the $10 tier for sure. And those people that already support us, I thank them from the bottom. We thank them from the bottom of our heart. Samson from Grand Rapids, Bud Dickman from North Carolina, Steve from Colorado, Omar from Detroit, Delivery Cats from Michigan, Jamie from Tennessee, Tom from Chicago, Jim from Connecticut, Miguel from GR, and our newest Patreon supporter, Linda Swan?
Yeah, Swan from Tampa.
Oh, shit, I put Nashville.
Yeah, you did. But
she wasn't even from Nashville. She's from Kentucky.
Yeah, she's in Dunedin, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she's down in the Tampa area. But yeah, she grew up in the.
That's right. So I'm changing it right now. And Linda, wow, you are gonna love that interview. It is live now on Patreon for the $10 tier. So if you haven't listened to it, you get it first. Eventually, we'll roll out to all y'all that are not on Patreon. But it was so good. In fact, dude. I'm gonna be in Tampa-ish. Clearwater in December, and I'm gonna go take a ride with her and sing, and I won't be drunk.
For sure. Yeah, next time we get down there, because where she's living is where we go to stay at the condos in Dunedin. We love it. It's a wonderful little town, about 35,000, and we will definitely ride with her and sing along.
How do you spell that?
DUNEDIN.
I'm just bringing it up. We're just doing it.
Yeah, it's
live.
right there next to Clearwater.
We're going to do it right on the podcast.
Right next to Clearwater.
Oh, yeah. There's their downtown market.
Mm-hmm. That's a great. They got a lot of arts, arts and craft stores. And,
so it'll be easy. It won't even be hard to connect with her. It'll be like, let's go.
Yeah, I don't know how many drivers they had, but yeah, I wouldn't think.
No. I mean, it's not like I got to travel 2 hours to meet up with Linda.
From Clearwater?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like 10 minutes.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. So yeah, if you want to join Patreon like Linda, we appreciate it. And then we have a Telegram group where we should get Linda in there. She'd be talking.
She'd be throwing them one-liners out.
Oh, those one-liners. Oh man, I can't wait to pull those one-liners. But the Telegram group, tell us about that.
Yeah, a Telegram group. It's how we communicate with each other. It's kind of like a chat group. You can text as you normally do in a text app, but you can also do voice recorded messages, which is much easier to do when you're out driving or delivering food. We get in there. We talk about gig work. We talk about all the money we're making. We talk about the crappy passengers or deliveries that we have. We talk about just life in general and get to know each other. A lot of times we'll just talk about what's going on in our world. So it's a good way to make friends and not feel like you're so alone out there even in the gig economy.
For sure. I'm trying to do something on the fly.
Oh yeah. Chapstick videos. Pete reminded me.
Yeah.
We're all about the chapstick videos, and you have to join the Telegram group to find out what that means.
Right. For sure. So hang on. I'm doing something. Okay. Just for fun. So we have the picnic coming up.
We do. Coming up quick.
It's coming up quick. So we're going to do something here. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. So here we go. The 6th annual Gig Economy Picnic. This is not just like, you don't have to be a fan of the podcast. If you hear, well, I mean, of course we would like that. But if you hear this, and just come on down. It's just to celebrate you as a gig worker. So here's some of the pictures. This looks shady. So don't. Is it showing up? Are we seeing it? Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
All
yeah.
right, cool. This looks like someplace you would dump a body, which probably does work. But this red line right here.
Yeah, I mean, we did
that's
see
true.
a body there one time.
So
but anyway, that's a
so you
different story.
pull in and then you turn right and you think you're not going to get down there, but it actually dead ends. And this is where the island shelter is over here. And I mean, look at this thing.
Hey, it's awesome.
We'll be grilling up some burgers. We'll be grilling up some hot dogs.
Pete's going to be there.
Yeah, they just redid this, so that's going to be good. But yeah, come on down.
We have prizes to give away. Somebody's going to walk away with a thirsty goose of their very own.
Yep,
to do what they may.
So funny. Speaking of thirsty goose, so I had run upstairs to go pee, and my wife was in the shower, and I'm just like, I gotta go pee. And so I go in there, and she's like, said something smart ass, of course, because that's what we do when we're married. And I was like, well, I need to get a urinal in the studio. Like, that just needs to happen. There's plumbing down here. Let's make it work. She goes, yo, you got a thirsty goose. And I'm like, no, because then I got to clean that thing out. A urinal, I just flush the toilet and I just get right back to editing. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Threw that back at you, didn't she?
She did. So, yeah, I hope to see you at the picnic. Stories from the road. Again, Jason has no stories from the road. I am actually doing some gig work this weekend. I'm going to try to do a couple flex routes. Well, like last weekend was Labor Day and we were out of town, and the weekend before, I don't remember. Well, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't work that weekend, but I just didn't. So,
I had some limited time doing rideshare. I did work last Thursday night. It was a pretty good Thirsty Thursday, pretty busy. Worked half a day at my W-2 job on Friday, and then we flew out to Richmond, Virginia, when our son Jason got engaged to his girlfriend Sophie, and we were very happy about that. We love her to death. And so we flew out there for the engagement dinner. All 6 of my bonus kids were there, which is always cool when you can get them all together. So we had a good time, but didn't do any rideshare. But and then I didn't do any rideshare when I came back because for some unknown reason, I parked my car at the airport. Not the airport, at a hotel. Always pay. They have a bunch of hotels down there. You can pay just to park, and they'll shuttle you to the airport, pick you up for free. Got back to our car. Me and my wife got in, and my car was full of ants. Don't know where they came from, how they got in my car. My windows were up. My sunroof was closed. I didn't have food in there. But I look at my console, and in my back floorboard, there's little black ants everywhere. Still don't know how they got in there.
That's strange.
Yeah, so we killed as many as we could, and then we were killing them all the way home. And then when I got home, I went to the car wash and vacuumed it out. It looks like they're coming up from my gear shift, which is sealed off. It's got a leather covering. It's weird. I still don't know for sure where they came from. I mean, I may have spilled a little bit of tea or something in there. So I had like a little sticky spot or something, but I have no idea how they all got in there.
Well, you gotta know that the ants probably got a good sniffer. So you parked it for how many days? 3 or 4 days?
From Friday to Sunday.
So not that long,
48 hours. No.
But maybe you did spill something down there and they smelled it when you were parking there and they're like, let's go.
I guess they crawled up from underneath. And I don't know.
Hey, they'll find food. They'll find the stickiness.
Yes, they will. But I don't know. So anyway, I was going to bomb the car, a fogger, but the foggers all say don't use in a room that's less than 5x5 or it might blow up. I didn't really want to do that in my car. So I just got one of the little ant traps, chemicals that we've used in the past that works really well, and set that in my console and set it out in the hot sun for 2 days.
There you go.
And today I didn't have any ants. So
that
way
works.
or another we got
that is a very strange thing. Honestly, I've never heard anyone.
It really is. Between that and the wasp nest I found, it's just been an insect kind of week.
Man, if it's not one thing, it's another with you.
It seems like it. Yeah, I had ants in my pants, Pete. Ants in my pants.
And car.
And car.
All right, gig economy in the news. This kind of just dropped yesterday. This photo,
yeah.
I'm sure you've seen. So this is local to my market. This is out by our Big Lake, Michigan, and someone posted it. I was like, Judas Maud, like what the hell?
Gosh.
So I'm like getting all excited, and I was like, the guy threw it up there, and I was like, hey, let us know if you got it, and so on and so forth. And then me, I mean, I go to Reddit, and then I see other Facebook groups, and honestly, almost all the transactions were very similar to the same amount. It was
it was all 301, 302. It seems like
I saw all 301. I saw the change.
It may have been
different.
all 301.
Yeah, it was like 301.27, 301.60, and
so definitely a glitch.
Yeah, so that kind of dampened my spirits because even though I didn't get this cheddar, guy, if this guy did, I'm like, fuck yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, more power to him.
I mean, like we like to see people succeed and just get it, get their bag. And so it wasn't. And didn't Lyft have a glitch in the last year? The same thing. I swear we talked about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. And I did not get one of these $300 offers, so I just drove to the ATM and started doing the TikTok.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Look it up on TikTok. The Chase Bank money glitch. I don't know. Look that up. But so yeah, this what basically happens is it's a reservation. It's not like it pops up as a ride. It's a reserve. And when you go do the ride, it's regular price.
Yeah.
So
false advertising.
Yeah, well, and people are like, "Oh, we should file suit." I'm like, I'm sure you signed something in the terms of service that said, we reserve the right to fuck you. And
it's in there.
It's in there. So
with no lubrication.
God, I'd be so bummed though. Like, to be the first driver and then to do it and then $9. It's like, sad.
And $2 tip.
Yeah, well, at least you got the tip. Uber is offering free rides like for back to school season, and I Uber I think they are pumping the new generation of adults. They're saying,
they are.
Hey, we want, just like Facebook for the Gen X and Boomers, we want Uber in your repertoire and to use it as much as possible.
Yeah, they want to be the app for everything. So yeah, they're drawing them in young. They're celebrating back to school season by offering new teen account users a free month of rides and food. So it says as teens grab their back to school supplies for another successful school year, Uber wants to help parents and teens by offering rides and access to their favorite food spots. Teen accounts are built with transparency in mind, so there are no surprises for parents, teens, or drivers, said Mariana Estevez, who's product manager at Uber. So we're thrilled to offer this innovative feature to families in more cities across the USA with key safety features built into the heart of the experience. In addition to free rides for teens, they get special pricing and discounts to college students who sign up for the Uber One at Starbucks, Taco Bell, and Wendy's. And only new users can claim this promotion until September 30th by signing up for an Uber account. A limit of up to 6 rides, each capped at a maximum of $20 per ride, and up to 6 food orders with a maximum of $20 per food order. And again, it's only applicable to new users. So.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense if you're trying to get.
Yeah, it's just like the promotion for the phone or the cable company. They're not going to give it if they already got you hooked. So
yeah. Pete says, next thing you know, they're going to be catering to back to daycare crowd. It's going to be no car seat rides for everybody.
Well, I mean, it's pretty close to that now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, well, that's good that they're doing that. I mean, it's smart business move. You know what I mean?
Draw them in, try to make them a customer when they're young, and, that's what they get used to. And
so I have to ask you got a ton of kids that are older and that went through college. Did you, and I don't know the financial, I know it's some of your wife's kids, some of your kids. Did you ever have your card was on their Uber account or whatnot? Or were they all would you get a charge? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We did
not have them on our credit card.
As far as so if they wanted to take an Uber, it was on them.
Yeah, I mean, sometime I think there was a time or two where I forget what the circumstances were, but I think we might have reimbursed them for a couple of rides.
Yeah.
But if we didn't hook it onto our account so they could just ride wherever they wanted, whenever they wanted. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, we always told them if you're out drinking and you need a ride home, we'll pay. We'll pay so you're not driving.
Of course.
But no, they didn't have free reign.
Okay, I was just curious about that. So
all them kids that bankrupt us, man.
I know, but like how many kids? Like at least once a week, you overhear a conversation like, "Oh, my dad doesn't care; it's on his card," or I don't care.
All the time. I hear that. Yeah, I hear that all the time, and you can tell some of them that daddy's paying for it because they'll take a quarter-mile Uber ride. When the weather's perfectly fine, you can walk it.
Right. That's hilarious.
Yes.
So next up, I did just rip this picture because I thought the guy looked like a douche. So here you go. This is the Cybertruck cowboy, they call him. So the title's funny. Riders love Cheyenne Lyft drivers Cybertruck, but anti-EV people flip him off. Now he's in Wyoming, so I'm gonna try to bust through this article. It was very wordy, and you know how wordy works for me, but
hit the highlights.
And which I did not highlight this one, Larry, as we talked before the show. So he's an IT consultant with a tech company. He had a Model 3 and he just loved driving it around. He drove Uber and Lyft on the weekends to make a payment, which, that's a great way to do it, honestly. If you want a nice car and you got a great W-2, you grind it a couple times on the weekends, like even, you probably could do it on one weekend.
Yeah.
And you could pay for your car and then never, not have to worry about it. So he said when Tesla started selling the Cybertruck, he put an order in. About 2 million people had the same idea. So some of this stuff just might be Cybertruck related. I just thought it was interesting. So bear with me.
Yeah, it is.
He said he was about 600,000 on the list. He wasn't too optimistic that he'd see it. Then much to his surprise, June 3 got an email, said his model was ready. He had requested the elite version called a Cyber Beast, but the email gave him an option to downgrade to a cheaper Cybertruck. And this is where they screwed up the article. He goes, after talking to his wife, Doan took the faster, more expensive option. No, you took the cheaper option. The cheaper one was going to get there. But anyways, it cost him $120K. So let's see. He got that. Let's see. His Cyber Beast is a tri-motor, which means it's one of the Foundation series, which meaning is one of the first Tesla produced, which that's kind of cool. Yeah. To have kind of like the first one, although you never buy the first one. He said the other day I had a lady behind me. She was double flipping me off. Doan said, raising the middle fingers with both hands up to demonstrate. At first I thought I did something wrong, like cut her off, but I don't think I did anything wrong. She was flipping the car off. So it talks a little bit about 320 miles on a full charge. Larry just sent me a photo. Oh, God. Is that real?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me rip this photo. I got to do it. Let's see. Stand by.
I saw this the other day. My wife hates the Cybertrucks. Most people either love them or hate them. My wife hates them.
Oh, God, this picture's still on here. You should have told me to take it off.
So
I had the article up, so I wasn't looking.
Yeah, I came across that one the other day, and I was like, "Here, baby, you've got it like this." I mean, nostalgic, remind you of those wood panel station wagon,
I mean, honestly, that looks way better than the original. that guy's got like fuck you money, like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Gary, 1 or 2 weekends a month, make you payment for sure. Welcome, Gary. Yeah, $120K. So anyways, back to the story. Sorry. You should have yelled at me to take it off because I put the story in front of my screen so I can focus.
Okay, take the picture down.
Is it still up?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. What am I, a freaking noob? Okay, there we go. No, people want to see our face. Okay.
That's right.
So he said it takes about 30-40 minutes to go from 20 to 80%. So he can't do Uber. Uber won't allow
only
it.
Lyft.
Only Lyft.
I wonder why they don't allow it though.
I don't know. It's so weird. He said he made so much money doing rideshare that it covered his payments. That's not the case with the Cyber Beast. That's partly because the Cyber Beast is more than double the cost, but he's also limited to Lyft. Of course, people have trouble opening the door, which they all do. Mm-hmm. I'm such a sucker. So I went to the dealership, red flag number 1, and I needed to get wipers because they had like a model change for the wipers like 6 months before they stopped making the car, which is like, come on, you assholes. So I had to go to the dealer. And there was a Equinox EV, brand new, never been made, first year model. And I was like, hey, let's work up some pricing. Of course, it was insane because I was like fucking upside down in my Bolt, like so much, right? So it was going to be like a $1,500 payment. But it did have those door handles. Like,
really?
Yeah. And I was like, ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah, the flat door.
The flat.
Yeah. Because I mean, how many times are you gonna have to roll down your window and tell people how to open the door?
Well, I think I would only be cool with it is if the car was off or driving down the road, it was flat. But the second you put it in park, they popped out.
Yeah,
that would be cool. So
yeah, that would be cool.
So what else did he say? He has trouble in Wyoming because people label it as you're a Democrat. And because you have EVs. I don't know why. That does that. I don't know. It's fucking stupid. It's like whatever. But he says he doesn't even believe in the rebates. Like he doesn't believe in the rebates that Biden put out. And I'm just like, okay, like why did you have to say that? So it just basically said where he stand politically, which is fine. But like, why are we fucking talking about that? We're just talking about your stupid car.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, he got pulled over and they think he was profiled. He said he was profiled because they pulled him over for having not having his blinker on long enough, and then they brought the dog out to look for drugs. I'm like, that seems weird. So anyways, I don't know. Why do you think and this is not more rideshare related, why do you think Elon made that thing? The Tesla's beautiful, right? I love it. It's sleek, it's spaceshipy, it's like super modern, and then you build this piece of shit.
Yeah, with him, I don't know, man. He's got so many thoughts going through his brain. It seems like I'm still not sure he's not a robot.
Oh, he made it to patrol. Gary says he made it to troll people. I'm gonna go back to that comment, but I have to talk about this comment. My ex got a Tesla, and I felt stupid ass trying to figure out how to open the door. The real question is, why are you fucking opening the door of your ex's Tesla, bro? Like, what's going on here?
Hey.
Dipping the wick a little bit.
Hey, a little afternoon delight with the ex,
I'm gonna get him on dipping the wick. It's delayed. Oh, thanks for asking. I don't lie. Hey, you didn't have to answer, bro.
You open the door, man. You open the door, literally.
Yeah,
question.
Literally. So Gary, he made it to troll people, but why? Like, you just have so much money. You're just like, we're just gonna troll people with it, but.
I guess they do something for fun.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, when you're like got that much money, you do like expensive stuff for fun, I guess.
Yeah.
P said the Tesla truck looked really cool up close, but I think they're ugly AF in general. But once I saw one up close, and I was like, whoa. I mean, I'm sure it's slick inside and stuff. It's just like I would never buy that. Even if I had all the money in the world, I'd be like, nah, I'm gonna pass. I need something a little bit better than that. So. All right, moving on from Tesla. People buy stupid things. I mean, 120K and people are buying it. I know that's
a lot of damn money.
It is a lot of money, but like you can get such a nice car for 120,000, like a beautiful pickup truck. Like, but you're buying
not spending that much money on a damn vehicle.
No, well, we're in different tax brackets. You would too. If you made $5 million a year, 120 is like us buying a $35,000 car. You would too.
I don't know.
You'd buy this big
there's a lot of people who have $5, $10, $20 million and they drive damn Toyotas.
Well,
Corolla.
That's true. That's true. But I mean,
I'm not a car, cars, and I've never been a car guy.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not either. I mean, I really like the EV because I love that it's saving me money. I literally bought the EV for gas. I didn't do it to save the environment. I didn't I bought it because my gas savings alone covers my payment, like literally. So, but yeah, I guess you're right. I'm not really a car guy either. But I mean, I would love a nice big truck all pimped out.
I'd buy a plane before I'd buy a truck.
Really?
Yeah. I'd buy a little plane, get my pilot's license way sooner than I'd
Well,
buy
a plane is a little
$100,000
different.
truck.
120,000. You ain't buying a plane for 120.
Well, but you can. I mean, you can
like
rent
a little
lot.
Cessna.
Yeah, you can
Oh.
rent. You can rent one a bunch for 120 grand.
Yeah, that's true. Renting for sure.
Yeah,
It sounds like
Yeah.
you need to get your pilot's license, anyways.
I'd love to.
Do it. All right.
I ain't got the time or the money.
Oh, shut up. You do too. It's like $5,000 you get your license.
It's more like 8-9 grand.
Oh, okay. So 8, 9, big whoop. You're Uber king. You're Uber king in your little town of Bowling Green. You can make cheddar. Let's go.
But I haven't got the time. I've got my gig work.
Yeah,
I've got
that's
my
'cause you-
W-2.
Yeah,
I've got school.
Hold on.
I haven't got time.
Okay, you have time, but let's look at
Yeah.
pension, new W-2, and gig work, and your last kid's done.
No, she's not done.
Oh, I thought she was done.
No, she's still in the last year. We just paid for her tuition. She had enough. They all had enough to cover, but school has gotten so expensive that we didn't have enough in hers to finish hers. We're paying for her last year.
I'm calling out Pete's relationship and Larry's finances on the show tonight.
Yeah, and U of L's
not cheap.
No,
all right,
I'm
moving
not
on.
compared
Let's watch this
Anyway.
TikTok. We may watch it twice. This is a guy that
You're skipping my story, dude.
Where? What story?
You're skipping my
It's yours.
strike in Nashville.
No. What
Okay.
one? What number?
Where are we at?
We're
Are
on
we on
number
number-
4. We just talked about the Cybertruck.
Okay, I'm all messed up. You got me
Oh,
all
yeah.
frustrated.
Fine, go. Do your Nashville story then.
No. Pull up the video. Let's go.
You want to preface it or not?
Yeah, so this is a video of obviously from a doorbell cam of Amazon driver making a delivery, and he is not happy with his career choice.
Fuck this. I hate this so much. I hate this so much. Ah! Please don't make this go viral online. Fuck this. I hate this so much. I hate this so much. Ah! Please don't make this go viral online.
So I have done that so many times. Like I can relate it as far as like pickleball. I'll say I fucking hate this sport. I fucking hate it because you're like frustrated. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh yeah.
I can't say I've done that for Amazon before, but like just his frustration. Although it was weird, so I'm always suspicious if it's a setup.
Right. Yeah. That's for I think we've seen enough of them that we're a little jaded that we always wonder like, oh man.
I mean, the sentiment is correct. He hit it right out of the park, but the way he kind of said, I hope this doesn't go viral. He didn't have a reaction where he saw the camera. So I was like, I wonder if this is set up, but it doesn't really matter either way.
He said it's fake, so it's fake.
Yeah. Well,
so.
yeah, exactly. It's probably fake, but I have had that sentiment with stuff. Like you're just like, fuck this shit. Like, what are we doing with our lives?
Oh yeah. I think we've all had that sentiment in doing one activity or another. You're like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I hate this. It's no fun.
Like you last night killing those bees, and your son said you should have hired a professional, and then you'll get stung and you'd be like, what am I doing? Fuck this. That's it. I'm done.
I get stung. I'll take a blowtorch out there next time.
Right. He said those boxes look light. I'm telling you, dude, sometimes they package that stuff so weird. I'll pick up boxes that are super, they're like really long. They're like this, like that, but like really long. And you can literally pick them up like this. And it's like, it's got like one little thing in it. So
yeah, they waste a lot of stuff.
Right. All right. So this next is interesting. It kind of relates to like defrauding with an app, but it kind of reminds me of a little bit of some of the apps out there. Like kind of even like Gary's apps too. And not that his is a scam or anything, but when you hear some of the stuff, it's interesting. So It's a huge long article, and I have started linking all these articles in the show notes now. I just decided that probably is good, especially if someone's listening and they want to read the article, because we do okay on it, but like you should be able to like read the whole thing if you want to.
Yeah,
but
sure, without having to search for it.
yeah. So these two guys, I'm not going to read the names, allegedly develop a rideshare application that is fraudulent, manipulate a driver's GPS location to obtain unlawful surge fare pricing, defrauding customers and legitimate. Gary's going to hate that I brought this up with him. And legitimate drivers. For almost 6 years, this alleged conspiracy offered an unfair financial advantage to more than 800 participants and disrupted. So it's kind of a legalese article. The integrity of nationwide rideshare services, earning the participants more than $40 million. The FBI will continue to dismantle all the schemes out there. So, and we did just talk to a guy that I think it's kind of like nuts and bolts of like security, but it was really interesting to hear how they're fighting fraud in the gig economy. So,
yeah, he's a super intelligent guy, and the way that he was explaining how their services work was very interesting. It's not just we're checking your GPS, because
right.
Everybody knows GPS can be spoofed pretty easily.
Yeah, so fake GPS spoofing app. So it was developed by the defendants and others. Fake GPS enabled driver co-conspirators to manipulate or spoof their locations within a rideshare company. Application made it appear as if they were located in an area with surge and fares when in fact they were not. So that obviously it does not apply to Gary, obviously, at all.
Yeah, he says it's my apps do not.
I know, but I'll tell you what I read that kind of sparked it in my head. So then they created a Scroober app. So literally it was called Scroober. Scroober is an application developed by defendants and others that provided driver co-conspirators with information about prospective rideshare company rides that were not otherwise available to the rideshare company. So that's what triggered me when they were when Para was able to pull that data, that if you didn't have that app, you would be able to see how much it was actually paying. So that's what kind of like, okay, so it's like the apps that run in the background, so on and so forth. With information about prospective rideshare company one rides that was not otherwise available to rideshare company drivers prior to accepting such rides. For example, Scroober enabled driver co-conspirators to obtain prospective riders' destinations, approximate fares for prospective trips, thereby allowing driver co-conspirators to accept or decline the prospective rides based on information to which they were otherwise not entitled to, and in turn cherry pick only the most profitable and lucrative rides offered him to the rideshare company. So that literally is what Para did with DoorDash. I mean, it literally was.
Yeah. So Gary said it was $600 to buy the phone and $300 a month for the subscription.
I mean, that's pricey. But if you get,
they obviously were making enough money that it was well worth it.
So, and then one other thing too, it says, a rideshare application. The defendants caused outdated version of rideshare company application to be downloaded onto scheme devices. So that's one thing that, Gary does recommend too, is like, don't, and this is not, Gary, I'm sorry if I'm like connecting you with this is not what I'm trying to do, but it just like triggering some things in my head. Cause like Gary says, hey, sometimes you want to hold off, don't have automatic updates on because sometimes that shit breaks. And that's what they're basically talking about. Use older versions so that the security hasn't been updated, and and that tracks too. So yeah, that's interesting. But don't you feel like the Scroober app is kind of like getting that information like it did before? Like I keep saying Para because that's what it did. It pulled that code, but I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Don't say Gary's name. Keep your name out of your fucking mouth.
Whap. Yeah, I mean, pulling that information, but using it for a definitely nefarious purpose that it was not meant to be used for, and that people were paying a pretty good amount of money each month to get that information.
Yeah, my guess the Scroober app was probably done unethically, where the Para with DoorDash, they just were able to read the code and figure it out. You know what I mean? So, and obviously the fake GPS spoofing and stuff like that is definitely against it. So, see, Para and Scroober are not the same, but you understand why I'm saying that, right, Gary? That it did the same thing, but they did it in a different way. I guess probably one was illegal. So anyways, these guys are fucked. Long
Yes.
story short, or short story long, and 20 years in prison on the 2 counts. And I'm glad though, man, because like this shit's got to stop. And like when we were talking to Andre in the interview, I didn't really realize how much fraud is actually going on. It's not just drivers. We focus on them because we are drivers, but it's customers, it's restaurants, and it's all try to simultaneously sniff out who's the fraudster.
Right.
And
yeah, because we tend to look at okay, there's a customer that's doing something fraudulent, or there's a driver doing something fraudulent. But as he mentioned, there's restaurants that are co-conspirators, and you have situations where the customer, the driver, and the restaurant are all bad actors. They're all working together to defraud. So yeah.
They talked. He also talked about. I'm not sure if this made it in the interview about like it's basically organized crime that's doing like here's the restaurant, and here's the customer, and then here's the driver, and then they do a code to try to get a refund, and it just like happens over and over and over and over again.
Coupon codes and
and so
all sorts of stuff.
Uber's trying to fight this, and we do give them shit about it. But he talked about how they try to do it in-house, but they're not specialties at fraud. You know what I mean? They need an outside company. And he's like, I had said in the interview, like it doesn't feel like the companies care. He's like, oh, they care. It's just a shit ton of money.
Yeah. They're spending a lot of money on some of this technology to try to fight this stuff,
which I guess I'm glad that they actually are concerned about it. So,
yeah. Because from our viewpoint, sometimes it does seem like, well, why would they care?
Yeah.
As long as it's getting delivered.
As long as it's getting delivered. As long as the customer's happy. I mean, that's honestly, they don't give a shit about us. If the customer's smiling and they're paying their monthly whatever and they're getting their food, they don't care.
Yep.
So,
yeah. But as we was talking about, a lot of these situations, the customer's not getting their food.
True. True. and George is supposed to deliver it, and Georgina shows up and does it. So, that's also a safety issue.
And so then they lose these customers, for life.
Right. For sure. All right. Octopus tablet, order the tablet. It's free for you. You get the tablet, the holder, the charger. Customers and riders can play trivia, games, all that fun stuff on it. They have current news. They have, they'll have my Detroit Lions win column be 16-0 or 17-0. No, I'm not that crazy. I have drank the Kool-Aid, and a lot of people are predicting the Lions to go to the Super Bowl.
They should have a good year. Should have a good year.
Not win it, but go to the Super Bowl. So anyways, they have fun stuff like that on there, depending on the holiday season, so on and so forth. You make up about $100 a month. There's also a great referral program, which obviously we use. So click our link in the description, and then you can get your own referral link and share it to your friends. It's $25 a pop, so it's not bad. I think we're in a higher tier now because we've done good referrals, and they're like, oh, we're going to reward you a little bit more, which is nice. Like, it's a really driver focused company that's not out to fuck you. They're out to definitely make sure that you're taken care of. So,
yep, they do a great job.
All right. You can talk about your Nashville stuff now.
It's about time.
I'm so excited about it.
Well, it's funny because, so anyway, there's a Tennessee Drivers Union down in Tennessee, and they are trying to, they organized a strike for Labor Day weekend. It was funny. I contacted you and let you know that I got a call from these people.
We didn't talk about that.
Right. They invited me to, I think because it was last Thursday when they called.
Okay.
I can't remember. So I think it was after the show. So anyway, they called me and invited me. I don't know how they got my name and number. I mean, I've never
That's a little weird.
Been in any contact. So yeah, I mean, sounds like they've got information on, drivers and their contact information.
Larry, if I pay enough money, I can get your information. Like, I can figure it out. It's out there. Somebody's got it and just waiting for somebody to buy it.
Yeah. So they've got these, email or phone lists or contact lists. So they called, invited me to a meeting. They were going to talk about organizing this strike. I would have loved to have gone just to hear what they had to say. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to get down there for the meeting. But anyway, they had it this weekend. So we actually, like I said, we flew out of Nashville Friday, and then we flew back in on Sunday. Supposedly they had about 100 or so drivers. Originally, they were going to start the strike at the airport at 1 p.m. And then they were going to strike until about 7. Then they were going to lead a caravan down Broadway with signs and bullhorns telling their message. They ended up not doing the caravan. They're planning on maybe doing that at a later time. The airport was kind of fighting back with them. So at one point they shut down access to the rideshare driver's lot, which is a pretty good sized lot.
Really? Like
Yeah.
they physically put someone
They wouldn't
there?
anybody other drivers in the lot.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so the drivers said they're the president of the union said they're doing, this is something we're doing for all of us, not for just a single person. It doesn't matter whether you're Uber Black, a regular Uber, or a taxi driver. Of course, they're talking big. This is going to be the beginning of a nightmare for the companies.
Yeah.
So they're asking for an expansion of their airport lot, clean working bathrooms, because right now they have porta johns and they are disgusting. I will not use. I don't go to the Nashville airport ride lot a lot, but I mean, usually when I go, there's so many people that are sitting there and they're out talking and walking around and playing cards. And I mean, what are you doing here?
Well, I think that demand is stupid, by the way. Like, no, ask for more money. Like, who cares about the shitter? Like, I'm sorry. Like, you're not an employee. You don't have access and free. You're lucky you got a shitter there. Like, we don't even have one by us.
Yeah. So anyway, they're asking for a 9 p.m. cutoff for scooters in the city.
Well, that should be everywhere.
It should be. Cap on the number of drivers in the area. Enforcement on prohibition of fake taxis, and a dignified wage. So
yeah,
they talk about the drivers are doing everything. The gas comes out of the driver's pay. The repairs of the car come out of the driver's pay. They talk about how they can drive from the airport to downtown and get just $8 to $10. And then, a different hour might make 17. We need pay that's more consistent. We used to get 75 to 80% of the pay. Now we get, 20 to 30% of the pay. It's the same things that we hear, and a lot of the cities, a lot of the demands are asking. It said, the Lyft and Uber drivers in Nashville joined the other service workers for Amazon, DoorDash, Grubhub, Instacart, Postmates, and other companies in a strike on May 1st of this year, which is International Workers' Day. But this rideshare organizing effort is the first of its size to occur in the Deep South in an explicitly anti-worker state. Yeah, so it looks like they did have a fair amount of people. I did see some pictures where it looked like there were people having to wait, longer time than normal to get a ride. But as we all know, it's just so hard to organize everybody because there's always people who are going to be like, oh, everybody else striking, man. I'm going to make money that day. It's going to be surging. I'm going to make a bunch of money.
Well, yeah.
So it's very hard to organize and get people to stick together.
Yeah. Well, a couple of points with this. One, 100 isn't enough.
Right.
But
sure.
Clearly it was enough to get the airport to fuck around. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. That makes me feel like I'm glad there was some retaliation to that because that means they're noticing, right? If nothing happens and no one does anything and Uber doesn't say anything and the airport doesn't do anything, okay, well, it didn't work. So the 100 is too little. The other thing is, I'm going back to the porta potty thing. You guys, let's be a little bit more professional. Like, we're all adults. If you have to use the bathroom, then and you can't hold it, or you can't go in a Gatorade bottle or whatever, or you're a female, maybe the airport isn't right for you. Yeah. Maybe you should be out in the town. So I'm fine with the more money thing and all that other stuff, but like the toilet thing really kind of chaps my ass. But I think it can work. So here's what needs to happen. Me personally, I think, and I'm not going to invest time in this because I just don't have a big dog in the fight, but I will support them. I'm pro-union. I just am. That's who I am, and I'm on the union. Union bus driver, so on and so forth. Yep. So they need to take the 100 and make it 500, and then the next month they need to make the 500 to 1,000. So they have to take this momentum and keep going with it. Don't just freaking sit on it. And
it can't be a one-time thing.
No. You got to do every single holiday. You got to make people hurt. And it's not going to hurt Uber. You need to make, like you said, people are waiting for rides. You need to make the customer feel the pain because they're going to bitch to Uber. You know what I mean? Uber could give a shit. They're making money hand over fist. So if 500, even if the entire Nashville area stopped driving, I don't think it would really affect Uber. They'd be like, man, okay, it was like six hours, whatever.
Right.
I'll go take a shit and make more money. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it doesn't apply. But I think if the customers start getting annoyed and fussy and emailing Uber, I think that will move the needle.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Pete said, wait, Jason, some of the drivers here do the same thing. I think they might have, you know, and I feel like I want to support them and I'll share their posts and stuff like that. But like, I'm probably not driving anyways. You know what I mean? So I'm not a full-time gig worker. But I think it really has to be dialed in like they did at the airport. I think that's the way to do it. Just a bunch of drivers in Grand Rapids that don't have really like say that they're not going to drive on Labor Day. It's not going to do anything.
Yeah. And so apparently, you know, like I said, they do have a Tennessee drivers union.
Yeah.
I don't know who all they have involved with it. If it's, you know, taxi drivers and rideshare drivers, or, you know, what their membership is, how many they have. That's why I would have liked to have gone to the meeting.
Well, why don't we do this on the fly? I'm asking you, why didn't you she called you. Why didn't you call her back?
Yeah, I can do that.
Like maybe we get her on the show and maybe not during the live stream and we just chat about it and see what their thought is. I mean, it sounded like, cause you sent me the voicemail and it sounded very professional and like it wasn't like some, hey man, we're going to strike, bro.
Yeah.
Like it was very professional. It was, she was well spoken and I was like,
I'll touch base with her and invite her to talk with us.
Yeah, let's do it. I like to hear both sides and
for sure. Yeah, I'd like to hear what her thoughts were on how it went, whether they considered it successful or if they have any plans.
I mean, I personally do with the airport. You got somebody to notice, and again, it was retribution. Hey, you're going to fuck around, and this is how you're going to find out. We're not going to let you in the lot, and you're going to have to figure it out. So, anyways. All right, where we at? 49. Okay, so this video coming up right here, I just play the news story. It's not anything breaking, but the reason for what this person did is kind of like stupid, to put it. So here's my awesome recording skills. Here we go.
Property damage to the South Suburban home. The front window cracked. A car dented and scratched. The resident is still shaken.
I'm really traumatized. I haven't really been sleeping.
We are not revealing this woman's identity because she's concerned for the safety of her family. She says on Friday, her 17-year-old son took an Uber to the Orland Square Mall. And her son, who we are also not identifying, says the driver seemed agitated, driving erratically, and ignored his suggestion to take the expressway, instead taking surface streets.
I was just trying to make it to the mall, and I was trying to get there within a certain time frame, and he had decided to take the longer way to the mall.
The teen says once he was dropped off, he gave the driver a rating of 1 star. His mom says the next day, a man she didn't know knocked on her door.
It's like, oh, I picked up someone from this house and they left something, and I knew that it wasn't something that was a belonging of anybody in this house.
She says she refused to open the door, and that's when she says the man became angry and aggressive, shouting at her about the 1 star rating.
At the end of the day, somebody should have a right to a review. You know, it's opinion based. Like if you have a 1 star, you have a 1 star.
She says the man turned to leave, but not before grabbing a brick and throwing it at her window and at her car. No one was physically harmed, but the family says they're shaken up.
Coming to my home where my mom and my brother lay their head and while I lay my head, you know, it's just like, it's scary.
In a statement, an Uber spokesperson says the described conduct is unacceptable. We're continuing to investigate this report and will take appropriate action. We're standing ready to assist police however we can. The woman we talked to says she went to her local police department to report the incident, and the department does confirm there is a report on file.
All right, so that is one scary thing about rideshare, you know, and I'm sure you've seen it. Women sometimes don't get out. You know, they're like, let me off right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they don't want you to know where they live. And so that is one kind of thing, you know, that it definitely can happen. Gary says, how would the driver know that, though, unless he only gave like 1 ride a week? I mean, it's possible. I mean, clearly it is, right? Or are you thinking that the woman is lying, or do you think the driver is lying? Or I don't know what you're trying to get at, but if you can figure it out, either way, if the driver's a great driver and then he gets a 1 star and he remembers that interaction with her, because I'm sure we don't have dash cam, right? I'm sure it wasn't like we're all happy and like there was some like probably uncomfortable conversations going on in that car.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, we don't know how, the kid had handled it when he wanted to go the expressway and the guy went on the surface roads. The kid may not have been polite about it. So that could have caused some tension. Of course, he's not going to say that
of course
TV. So yeah, they might have been somewhat easy for him to figure out, but you never know. You never know what driver or what passenger gave you a rating.
No,
you really don't.
But I mean, it's a good point if he only gave 1 ride, or if he only gave a couple and every other ride was great, and then
or just quiet and silence, things like that.
But obviously, we don't recommend doing this.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, I mean, and we've talked about it. Who gives a crap about a 1-star rating these days?
I know.
Who cares?
I know.
I couldn't tell you what my rating is right now. I don't remember last time I looked.
I don't even know. I think it's a 4.96 maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
He said Diamond Bitch cares.
yeah, I guess.
Are you even doing rides yet?
Yeah.
Pete? Are you doing rides?
Shut up. You didn't want to pay for the insurance. It's too expensive. No, it was. I remember we talking about it. It was like a lot or something like that. But
get it from somebody else. It's cheaper.
Fuck them. Fuck the company you work for that I'm not going to say. I'm not going to ruin your career either.
Not yet.
Don't piss me off, though. My huge platform. Okay. So, anyways, don't throw. Shit.
Don't be a dick. As we say.
We know you don't. We know you don't go through them. I understand. I said that. Yeah. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Okay. Let's do your kindest one because that seems nice, and then we'll do Uber Teen Account 2.0.
Okay. So in August 2014. Ian Sandler's 9-year-old daughter, Riley Sandler, went to a sleepaway camp for the summer. Early one morning around 1:30 a.m., that he got a phone call from the camp. The voice on the other end was telling me that Riley had collapsed, and they were telling me they were taking her to the hospital, and I needed to get there right away, he said. So Sandler and his family lived in New York City. The hospital where she was being transported to was in upstate New York, many hours away. Said he was too shaken up to drive, so he booked an Uber. He put it in an address that was in the general direction of where he needed to go. And when the driver arrived, he explained the situation. I just started blurting out, my daughter's going to the hospital. It's going to be a long drive. Will you help me? He said, I still remember how kind this man was. He said, I have 3 children of my own. Get in. Let's go. He said it was very comforting that the driver could empathize with my situation. He said, I felt a calmness wash over me, a feeling that was interrupted by another phone call about Riley. He said they were moving her to a different hospital, which was even farther away. So I turned to the driver and said, we're going to be going further north. And he didn't miss a beat. We drove for another 3.5 hours.
Wow.
So this is a pretty lengthy trip. So when they arrived at the hospital, Sandler tried to give the driver money, but the man refused to take it. So I remember trying to tip him, do something, but he wouldn't take a dime. He said he just knew that this was the worst thing that could ever happen to a parent. Devastatingly, Sandler was too late. Riley had passed away from a rare condition that blocked her airway, preventing oxygen from getting to her lungs. He said that night was one of the most difficult experiences Sandler had ever endured, yet he still thinks about the Uber driver who got him to the hospital, and Sandler has a message for him. He said, you had no reason to take care of me in the way you did, but I will tell you that 10 years afterwards, I'm still so incredibly grateful for your kindness and for bringing me to my daughter that night. That was one of the kindest, sweetest things anyone's ever done for me.
Yeah.
So Sandler is now co-founder of Riley's Way, a foundation that provides coaching and mentorship to young people in honor of his daughter, Riley Hannah Sandler. So hear, these nice stories because we hear so much of the crap stories, and my driver was a dick, or my passenger's terrible, or this or that, or they wasn't made me, put an extra stop, so I canceled their ride. People do all sorts of crazy stuff. So it's just not to hear stuff like this where, there are good people out there. This guy he obviously, we're not doing this as a charity, but in a situation like this where, this guy's kid was in a bad situation and passed away. This guy had some compassion in his heart and wouldn't even take a tip or money for the ride.
Yeah. Pete says, I mean, I'll go out of my way to help somebody, but I'm also going to be grateful if they give me a little something. I'm kind of the same way. I always, well, I guess I can't say in this situation. I don't know what I would do, but in general, if somebody like, oh, I'm going to pay you, I was like, oh no, don't worry about it. And they're like, no, I insist. I was like, okay.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to fight them in that situation.
Yeah.
But if they arrived there and this guy's daughter had passed away, I don't think I would take any money.
Especially in that situation. No, especially with the daughter passing, it's like he's got enough to worry about.
Yeah, they're going to need that money for other stuff. That's I can't imagine having your child pass away.
Yeah, that's not supposed to be that way.
No, it is not.
All right, last up, Uber Teen, which it seems to get talked about a lot. There's not a lot to this article, but Uber Teen Accounts 2.0 revealed with more convenient safety and features. New and improved features. Previously, teen accounts did not support parents booking trips using their own phones, which is, I didn't know that. That's fucking stupid. But the new Guardian booking feature now allows us parents using Guardian booking will have access to the same security features a teen account will use. Parents with an Uber One membership can also share the benefits with teens, such as free delivery and cash back trips. Any cashback funds go to the teens account for future use. Teen accounts also can use Uber Reserve to request rides up to 90 days ahead. Reserve trips can be booked at least 30 minutes advance notice. Finally, teen accounts can now use Uber Cash if they receive Uber gift cards, so on and so forth for their shit, which is good. Like, I still can't believe that the parents they had to get on the child's phone to book it, or
that makes zero sense.
Yeah, especially if you like, I get it if it's a 17-year-old, like they can book their own or whatever. But if you got a 13-year-old, maybe they don't even have they would have to have a smartphone. But I mean, maybe you don't want to give access to that. The parents should be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, and they, if I was a parent, I would just do what everybody else does. I would just book the ride and then send a message to the passenger, hey, you're picking up so-and-so. Yeah. It's not me.
Well,
you're picking up.
No, I do think they book it for them, but it's not the parent account. It's still the teen account.
Right.
They're just able to request the ride or set it up for them. I think so.
Yeah.
Which I guess in my head before they had to grab the child's phone and book it, where now they can have a Guardian app where they book it right there. So, which again, why you should be able to access everything for your kid on your own phone. Like, it just seems kind of stupid.
Yeah. If you're a software company.
Yeah. It seems pretty easy. Make a fucking app. You want to connect with the boomers and the Gen Xers because, they're using it, and you want to connect with the young. You got to make shit seamless. If you want us to be in your app 24 hours a day, the shit's got to be seamless. Otherwise,
you got to remove the friction. That's what it's all about. If you can remove friction, you'll get customers.
You'll get customers because people do not like friction at all. So,
exactly.
Well, I do in a certain spot on my body.
Certain spot in certain situations. That's a different podcast.
That's a different show starting next week at 9 p.m. Eastern. The Friction Podcast with Larry and Jason. So good. It was a great show.
Great show.
Appreciate you, Larry. I know we've done 2 hours of podcasting, so it's been a night, and looks like we're probably going to do another one about taxes, and then we're probably going to do it. Hopefully, Larry can get a hold of that union president, and maybe we can get an interview there too. So,
yes, Pete, we will see you guys next Saturday. Everybody be planning. The picnic is the 14th, Saturday the 14th from 2 to 4 at Riverside Park. Be there or be square. Keep a lookout for our interviews coming out with Linda Swan, the car karaoke queen. Yeah, fun interview. Guarantee you'll enjoy listening to her. She's a hoot.
I don't post a lot on social media or TikTok, but I'm going to rip some clips and then start promoting it by doing that. And you'll love this lady. She's a sweetheart. So,
yeah. And then also our interview with the co-founder of, sorry, blanked on the name.
I want to say Insignia, but it's not. Is it Insignia?
I don't remember.
I forget too.
Incognia.
There we go.
Incognia is the name of it. But yeah, they're a company. They're working to prevent fraud in lots of different industries.
Yeah. And as always,
Cool.
don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
We'll see you on the road.
This podcast is produced and edited by Hey Guys Media Group. Want to start a podcast? Check out heyguysmediagroup.com.